She went for a walk or two almost every day for a few miles, no matter the weather. She would always come by my place, sometimes with her bag of dominoes. Ay, bendito, Mommy ven acá. Oh my God, Mommy's coming here. Oye, diablita. Oye, diablo. Mommy, ¿cuántas personas mataste hoy? How many people did you kill today? ¿Quién sabe? Who knows? Dominoes? I'm sure you're thinking that this is not a typical way to greet one's mother-in-law, and you would be right. But then my good friend Justina Quiñones was anything but typical. Yes, she was gentle and kind like mothers are supposed to be, but she was strong and tough too. She was la jefe del mundo, the boss of the world. Yo soy el prieto muy guapo con los ojos azules. She always smiled wryly at that because it means I am the very handsome dark-skinned man with blue eyes. No, 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 no. Eres un chincho muy feo con los ojos de mierdas. You're a very ugly lily white boy with eyes of, I won't translate that. Justina was a petite lady with big brown eyes and a little pixie nose. She had a streak of white hair over her left temple. And she was obviously and proudly una negrita, the little black girl, a term of both description and endearment. Justina was born in 1916 in Puerto Rico, the second youngest of 14 children, only 9 of whom survived to adulthood. All of her family were subjects of the King of Spain, and 3 of her grandparents were born as slaves. Her father oversaw dozens of campesinos that worked the fields of a sugarcane plantation every day except Sunday and a few holidays. Her mother managed the household, which was big by the standards of the day. It even had glass windows and wooden floors. Justina helped her sisters with the usual chores, as well as drawing water from up the hill, gathering firewood, and tending to the livestock. Y todos los días cocinan arroz con habichuelas. And every day they cooked rice and beans, not just for the family, but all the campesinos too. And on Sundays they had meat. Justina was a rare girl for the time because she attended school. But when she became a teenager, that was no longer an option. Her duty was to help the family by getting a job, then marry the right man and have children. She worked as a domestic in some of the nicest homes in the island, but she hated it because of the way she was treated. And she had no interest in any of the right men pushed by her father. She was trapped because of her gender as well as her race. Charming Louis Escalin, who worked in the governor's office, was her way out, even though he wasn't from the right family. They married anyway and had 3 children, Louis Jr., Sarah with an H, and Richard, not Ricardo. Unfortunately, Louis Sr. was a philandering son of a bitch. And right after giving birth to Richard in the hospital, a first in her family, Justina demanded the doctor tie her tubes. He insisted that she consult with her husband first. No, 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 no. That bastard doesn't have anything to say about it. You do it or else. And it was done. Justina was finally able to divorce Louis Sr., something that was scandalous in the 1940s, especially for women in the very Catholic Puerto Rico. She left for New York City and landed a job in the garment district in Manhattan. She earned enough to send for her children and move into a cold water walk-up in Brooklyn. Seamstress wages just covered the rent, the subway, and food every day, at least for the children. There were other challenges too, like the landlords that turned off the heat broke the windows to drive the tenants out so they could get around the rent controls, or anyone that thought they could threaten her children. When a street gang sent Louis Jr. home bruised and bloodied because he refused to join, she raced down the stairs to confront them. And when they mouthed off to her, "Bad move, boys," she beat the leader with a switch until he curled up crying in the street. He's lucky she didn't have her machete. In 1965, Louis Jr., the eldest son, came to what was then La Crosse State University, which is how Justina and her daughter Sarah ended up here in the wilds of western Wisconsin. Now, I didn't learn all this quickly or easily because no matter that I was her son-in-law with her blessing, I'm still a man and simply not to be trusted. But over time, my mother-in-law and I became the best of friends. And that is why La Diablita walked over to my house to play dominoes, which with her was almost a full contact sport. Especially when playing the double six. LTYM! Justina continued in her quest to live for her children until dementia began to rob her of herself. She was getting lost on her daily walks, among other incidents, so we moved her in with us. Keeping her safe meant I became her jailer, so as you might expect, she literally fought for her freedom. During that first year, I had many bruises, cuts, scratches, and even bites. Eventually, I learned how to avoid the confrontations by hiding in my own house and by lying to her about the real time and place. Every day was Sunday, Tina. We don't have to go to work or school. Her mother, who died in 1967, had always just gone to the store. And besides, Justina, she told you to finish folding the cloth and sorting the buttons. Occasionally, she would have moments of lucidity, which could elicit everything from smiles and laughter to screams of anguish and tears. It was then that the silly songs that I learned while playing dominoes with her sometimes helped. Justina Quiñones, pates de bolones, you're full of baloney. The dementia took more of her away every day over the next 14 years, until at the age of 92, what little sparkle was left in her eyes was gone forever. The one thing I would tell her was always the truth. Amigos siempres, Justina. Amigos siempres. We're friends always, Justina. Friends always. She would respond, sí, amigos siempres.